I think Lucy has mentioned a lot of things that I think speak to the brand and what the brand means out there. But I would just want to mention a few things that have been some of the things we've been telling the staff as we've been going around the businesses. I've been able to talk to the staff in the subsidiaries, and I think here I've not been able to talk to the UAP insurance staff, so this is a good opportunity. But as we go through the rebranding, which now is that we are the UAP Old Mutual Group, and that has already commenced, so you're going to see some changes that are going to start, but we're also going to have a lot of internal engagements, just like this one. We'll use these opportunities to start and packaging this information, and eventually after 5 years, we're going to be the Old Mutual Group across all the 6 countries. So this year, all the countries will be UAP Old Mutual, and then after post-2020, we all become Old Mutual Group. So we did some research, and customers were able to tell us what their expectations are. But also staff told us a lot of things. Some interviews were made for board members, and they were also able to give their input. And what the analogy that came out of this whole exercise was that there is the heart and there is the head. Who has ever seen that image in some of the presentations? Who among us has seen that image? They described UAP as the heart, being the heart when they look at the UAP Old Mutual Group. And they said, why the heart? Because UAP is very close to the customers. It has a very strong and agile culture. They are able to flex themselves according to the customer's needs and preferences. They are very responsive. They have this local touch with the market. And they looked at the vibrant culture within UAP and said they have a heart. But the heart also came with its own pros. I mean, the pros and cons. The cons were that the heart came with very weak structures and processes. And definitely that is usual with anyone who's emotional. You try to bend so low to someone that you tend to want to jump into some shortcuts. So we need to be able to still carry the best parts of that heart. And the Old Mutual brand was described as one that is the head. Comes with a very structured way of doing things, processes. You know, you have to do this and then do this and then do this. Then, of course, they have the capital strength. They have this long history and the heritage of what they've done and what they've perfected across the whole world, but equally came with weaknesses, whereby they are not very in touch with the local market, not as responsive as UAP is. And also sometimes could just fix themselves into a corner and serve a certain segment of customers, leaving out a large majority of the market, which UAP has a good appeal to. So the customer described it and said, I see this as the heart and the head that is going to shake up the market. So we need that heart and the head as we go forward. That's the customer's expectation. The customer summarized it and said, I'm expecting a business then that has there's speed, there's innovation, but there's also the global practices that I can be able to enjoy from. And they said, this should be a world-class financial services provider, but with the local flavor and understanding. So as we go into the rebranding, the customer is very clear. You guys do whatever you're doing here, but I want the best of both. I don't want to be left out of this. I want the best of both. So including Faulu. Yesterday we had a focus group, and we're doing a focus groups today. I'll be in Kitengela in the afternoon. Around Faulu, we want to know how does Faulu fit into this mix? Because we have rebranded UAP Old Mutual, and the Faulu staff and customers were saying, where are we? And we said, we'll do research about you because we don't want to assume anything. So let me just quickly explain some of the things. One of it was that the expectation is much higher on us because we have just promised that we are a supermarket of financial services, an integrated financial services company. So what did they say? They said, then I expect to find everything under one roof. The challenge to us is that if right now I walked to you and asked you about the life product, will you explain to me? Can you be able to explain to any of our customers how to open an account in Faulu? Yes, that's where it starts. It starts with us. We cannot give that picture. We are an integrated financial services company if only we can explain about motor insurance and medical, and all that we do in GI. we have to start doing now product roadshows internally so that all of us can be able to speak about all the solutions in this supermarket. They talked about servicing, and they said, I'm expecting superior service if you guys are going to come together. In fact, it's to the large extent that they expect that I can walk into any of your branches and look at my statements for everything. I can look at my loan statement if I wanted to. I can pay my premium, and I can still be able to inquire about something else. I can buy any of the products that you have there. I can be able to access everything that you're promising, that you have insurance, you have investments, you have savings, and you have banking. I should be able to get that. That is a very high expectation, and we have to be deliberate that we will actually commit to coming to these product knowledge sessions that are going to be organized for nothing else, to equip ourselves with the right information. As Lucy said, you can never say, I don't know. How do I open a bank account? Can I access a loan for business if I have this business? You can't say, I don't know. At least you can give basic information, and thereafter call on your colleague to come and continue with the conversation. But you should be able to start that conversation. Customers are also expecting things like product bundling. Can I buy my life cover and I can also enjoy my motor insurance? I can buy my car insurance and have a life cover on it. So every year when I renew my car insurance, I also pay my premium for the life cover. Can I be able to have products that are attached to each other as opposed to going to go pay the loan this way, then I pay my motor insurance, then I pay life? They're expecting that some of these, I can pay one installment to be able to distribute into all these things. After all, you've said you're one. Why can't you just take my one installment? Why should I put 3 standing orders to you? Do you see how the customer looks at us? While internally we are saying, no, that's a life company. No, that's a bank, and that's the what? No, they're not seeing as that. For them, if you can be able to crack that, we'll actually differentiate ourselves in the business. What is your role in this? First of all, I've mentioned that we will have to go through the product roadshows where we'll sit in a sitting like this, and today we'll have probably the life business come and explain. And we will tag along all your events that you're having to explain what their products are, and you ask. We'll have also the banking products unpackaged to us. Then we'll also have you go and explain to the life company what you do and how things are sold, what should they know, how does your documentation look like. So as we change into UAP Old Mutual, just remember it's not about the logos being together. It's about us giving an impression that we have packaged everything together. So it's a very big promise as we take on that. Reputation management is one of the things, and as I think Lucy mentioned, every day we are receiving what's going through social media. Some very well backed up with good reasons of it, but our reputation is something we have to jealously guard, because any competitor wants to use even what the change we are going through to either say UAP was sold or something like that, and that's why the service is not working. Just one claim that has an issue that's being declined. They're not paying claims right. As you know, they were bought. That's why they were bought. In other countries, it's even worse. In Rwanda, any merger and acquisition is seen to be that one company was not performing, so one came and took it over. So we have to position it very differently. Every country I've gone to and worked to management and agents, their positioning is those ones of, please make sure you explain this thing like this. Because for us, if you don't explain it this way, our business will be affected. So I think that's how I like to summarize it as the expectation. We are going to unpackage this better for staff. The same way we did CC when we came together, we'll unpackage what the dual brand means so that you can then be able to live it out as expected, and we will be able to grow. It's a journey, so let's keep the doors for feedback open. Give us feedback from customers and even within staff so that then we are able to clean this up and walk the path the right way.
I think for me, the key highlight is that as UAP goes through the process, they need not lose sight of the small things that have been happening that are very close to their customers' heart, yeah? Because that is what will determine whether the customers then decide or choose to stay on. I hope that the customer experience will be right there at the top, yeah? That's what will be driving the business moving forward, that you'll actually be able to think about how do we serve our customers, how do we make sure that our customers stay on with us, how do we make sure that they get everything they need in terms of the different services that you're offering as a package. Yeah. So I think in your value determination, it will be very interesting to see where is the customer in all that.